And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 3,500 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that we have all the masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically, and in addition we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States. trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR, specifically oriented, resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. As we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. We pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. There was an NR, but you're pretty distorted, so back off your mic there for right now, about 6 inches, and try your call sign again phonetically, please.
Try your call sign again phonetically, please. Okay, very good. Sorry about that. This is November Romeo 2 NR2. Hey, dummy.
I think that's deliberately QRM network. Not good. Okay, station, I got NR. You're sounding more that I can understand. If you have your mic volume control handy, I would suggest turning it down about 10% from where it is, or 15%, Roger?
About 10% from where it is, or 15%, Roger. This is November Romeo 2 Zulu, NR2Z.
November Romeo 2 Zulu, is that correct?
November Romeo 2 Zulu, is that correct?
Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
Roger, and what's the name there? Okay, just, my name here is Dominic, and I'm located near Charlotte, North Carolina, and really, what I'm trying to do is stuff too, with the amplified U104 mic that I just picked up not too long ago with a Hampus, so I think the preamp may be a little too aggressive. Again, this is November Romeo 2 Zulu.
Roger, what's the name there?
I'm sorry, it's Dominic.
Roger, Dominic, well, I've got you on my local antenna, sir, and I think what we need to do is, right off, is what is your current volume level on your microphone? I tell you what, you're running a powered microphone, Roger?
Correct. It's a D104 with the power jack in it.
Yes, sir. Okay, so what I want you to do is take your internal mic gain control up to a 5. or 50, or however it is that you're halfway on the input of your control of your audio mic. I want you to set that at a middle position, like a 5 if it's 0 to 10, or 50 if it's 0 to 100. So we want right in the middle of that control on your mic level control. Roger?
Roger, I just did that. Obviously, it's just a little pot on the bottom. I've got it about halfway. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, you just eliminated a bunch of distortion because you were overdriving the first stage of that mic preamp. Okay, so we're in pretty good shape now. So what I want you to do is let's go on with our normal setup now, because you're sounding understandable, at least, pretty good. But what radio is that you're running?
Yeah, this is an old boat anchor. This is a FD102, so I have no control other than volume level, mic level. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, you do, because it, a lot depends on the way you work the microphone as to what the characteristics are of the microphone. With bass buildup as you increase your proximity. Oh boy. Proximity to the microphone. You have a bass buildup, and so what we want to do, those D104s are pretty upper mids a lot. So what we want to do maybe is work a little bit closer, so we pick up a little more lower frequency and try to broaden the audio curve out just a little bit. So what I want you to do now is work that mic, let's say about 2 inches from the head of that mic, about 2 inches. Roger, Roger?
Roger. Okay, I'm about 2 inches away. And by the way, when you come back, I didn't get your name. So we're about 2 inches away. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Name here is Jim, Juliet India Mike. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. So let's see, you don't have an adjustable transmit bandwidth, so you are what you are. Do you have any EQ at all, or just do you have compression processing?
No, there's nothing. This is just a D104 with the preamplified, the preamplifier in the D104 going right into the SD102.
Yes, sir. Okay, great. So let's see. Let's just get on to the ALC meter. As you look at that, do you have a meter or light?
No, it's an ALC meter, and on the ALC, I'm about 75% of in the ALC range.
Roger, Roger. So you're 2/3, would you say? 2/3 is the sweet spot on that meter. What we say is we're looking at a 7 or 2/3 on the ALC meter, Roger. But we use a steady tone, a humanly generated calibration tone, audio, and we say that word audio, hold out the front, and then adjust the mic gain until your ALC is in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3, Roger.
Roger. Audio. Okay, we're at about 65-70%.
All right, sir. So we have a bunch of mids. It's mostly mids. Let's come on in. Let's see how you wouldn't happen to have a foam windscreen around, would you?
Not for the D104.
Roger. Well, sometimes you can make those foam windscreens fit over the lollipop, or at least tape it around either side a little bit there, so you're actually running through 2 sides of a foam windscreen for that D104. But like I say, we do have a lot of mids, and I've maybe try coming in about 1 inch from that mic, and let me hear you there.
I'm about 1 inch away. I didn't want to overdrive it, and my ALC is still running about 7. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. So is that a screwdriver adjust on that D104?
Yes, it's a screwdriver adjust.
Okay, so that sounds pretty good there. it does have a lot of mids, but it does have some bass there. So I would suggest working that mic closer than what you have been, because when we both started the conversation earlier, I heard a bunch of room noise. Now, obviously, your mic gain was up pretty hot there, and it was actually you were getting a lot of distorted limiting by overdriving the front end of the radio. But I think we've cured all that now with that internal mic gain control setting at 50 or 5 or mid-scale to the input. It sets the first stage up to be well within its capability, and then some headroom for going hotter or working less volume. So it's a good place to start in the middle of the transmit mic gain control. Roger?
Okay, yes, Roger, Jim. I appreciate that. And that's what I was concerned about. That's why I wanted to get on here and get your help to get this adjusted at least close. I was afraid that I was overdriving it a bit, so I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And you might think about, down the road here, going to some kind of a condenser mic situation. I have modified those D104s to electret microphones. It works out really, really well that way. Those cartridges for the D104 are notoriously upper mids and upper mids a bunch. So the thing is, you might have to, if you're interested in broadening your EQ curve. And the other thing would be maybe you could look into some stuff coming out of Ukraine as far as compressor, limiter, equalization capabilities, and that way you can just plug that into the front of your radio, the mic, and you've got, it just brings you up to today's standards as best you can with your limited transmit bandwidth. I guess that would probably be like a 25, 26, 2.6K transmit bandwidth on that radio. Would you say, 15 years old?
No, the radio is 50. I built it in 1974. This is my backup radio. I have an ICOM 7300 as my normal radio, but I just love the old stuff. I was licensed in 1964, so this is sort of my nostalgia radio. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was just trying to figure out a way that we could possibly tame that mid-range. I'd say that mid-range is probably about 4 or 5 dB hotter than anything else that microphone is passing. So what we need to do is, if we did have onboard EQ, we would do something that I never do, and that's I would say to reduce the mids by 4 or 5 clicks. It's one of those things, and I never, I always say, you have to leave that mid-range flat or off to really do good as far as striking a balance between the top and the mids and the bottom of the mids. So I never recommend boosting or cutting the mids. But in your case with that microphone element, I would consider that, because it seems to me that those mids are about 4 or 5 dB hotter than the top and the bottom for balance. Roger?
Roger, very good, Jim. This is NRT. Yeah, actually, what I will try to do, your suggestion, and I've seen that, is change the mic element. I have another head, another D104. That I may experiment with, and change that over to a condenser, and then we can do, I can do some comparisons between the two. So I don't want to hold this up any longer, Jim. I really appreciate your help. Again, I didn't want to have some crummy signal out there. I take a little pride in not being splattering or having a lot of noise in the background, so I do appreciate that. As I say, this is, my this mic is probably 45 years old, so you know, it could probably use some help. So I will try it. I'll look into that, and maybe I'll check back in again in the future. KC9VK, UKV. This is NR2Z.
Roger, Roger, sir. And if you experiment with that electret mic, try to get that mic front end up into the grill. You know, don't set it back in the head, because what happens, it starts to ring and echo inside the head. So you want to try to get that mic element. If you do it, you want to try to get that electret mic element up as close as you can get to the head of that grill. And sometimes you can actually take like a Gorilla Tape and you know, just do something like that, because it doesn't make any difference as far as the element is concerned for the back side, because it's not going to get any much from the back side. So you know, you could use that duct tape to affix it to the grill with a couple layers. And that, you know, duct tape is strong. Sometimes it's stronger than steel, and I use that a lot in making my microphones, because it's just so easy to work with. You can do anything you need to do as far as you know, support. And there's another thing that I hadn't mentioned before that you might consider if you do the electret mic thing, and that is a thing called a crisper. And this crisper, what it does, it's an acoustic equalizer that fits over the electret element and hangs, well, let's see, if you know what a phono jack is, you know, it's covered with plastic and the plastic tapers back. Well, I take a razor blade and I cut that tapered piece off, and that leaves me a cylinder that electret mic element will fit right inside that cylinder, and then I overhang that cylinder about 1/4 of an inch in front of the electret microphone. So in other words, the electret capsule is sunk back into the tube about 1/4 of an inch. And what this does, it acoustically ramps up the top end frequency response around 5-6K, you know, from 3 to 5-6K, right in that beautiful area for ham radio. Roger?
Oh, very good. Yes, Jim, thank you very much. I will take a look at all of that and see what I can do. And I will come on back to you probably in a month or so, and we'll see how we're doing. I appreciate that insight. Good.
Roger, Roger, sir. Well, let me say 73 to you, sir. It's been a pleasure. And if you want to hear your audio as it stands, and it stands pretty good now. I mean, it seems to be very intelligible. I'm listening on my 7300. And so I'm much better frequency response-wise than I would be if I was copying the mail on an SDR, because the SDRs roll off the bottom side about 200 cycles or 250 cycles, whereas the 7300 is good down to 100 cycles. So I just love to copy the mail on the 7300 when conditions permit. So I'll say 73, and if you get a chance, you know, check back with us and let us hear if you do experiment with that electret microphone. I think you'll be just pleasantly surprised because of its capabilities. It starts off, electret microphones are just notorious for top-end better response than, I think, over dynamic mics. And then with this crisper, you can play with that, and probably you can tune that. I never really experimented much with tuning. I found out that 1/4 of an inch overhang of the mic the element worked just fine, so I just always used that in my design and manufacturing. So there you go. All right, so 73, sir, and we'll catch you later. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
At W2UFO.
UFO, Roger, Roger. What's the name?
My name is Mark. We're in North Carolina, and I guess I was on a week or two ago, and I'm trying a different microphone, so I thought I would see how we're doing. Hope all is well with you. Good strong signal here into North Carolina.
Roger, Roger, Mark. Looking at you on a spectrum analyzer tied to my 7300 output, and I see you probably rolling out at about 150, maybe 200 hertz on the bottom side. Top side sounded pretty good. Look, if you've got just a moment, I would love to do some experimentation, Roger.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so this thing, it is like a how to make a frequency response image real quickly, and I've been using this word audio. And is for usually is used to set the ALC level in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 by way of mic level control. But I'm thinking there is a frequency, D. The D is a lower frequency than the So what if I wanted to balance the and the D? Would that be in the proper direction as far as a balanced EQ situation? So it would revolve around the word audio, and so what I want to do is I do the and I'll set a level, and then I'll check you out as you do the D and the O, and just give me about 5 seconds of each one of those sequentially, starting with the D and O. Roger?
Okay. D, O.
Okay, so do you have, let's see, what radio are you running, Mark?
I'm running a 101, FTDX 101D. I'm currently running between 300 and 2700.
Roger, Roger. Okay, so if we could, let's see here. Let's visit the EQ page, if you would like. What type of equalizer does that radio have?
It's a 3-band multi-equalizer. I can bring it to 100 to 2900. People have told me the radio sounds a little bit bassier that way. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, it should be in the 100 to 2900 because that lets your transmitter be all that it can be frequency response wise, but then give you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So we do recommend 100 to 2900 on the transmit bandwidth. It's called wide. Roger.
Okay, and I'm now at the 100 to 2900.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so as you look at your equalizer, do you have a P set of controls? Or let's go back just a minute to your compressor processor, and we want just a tad of that, like a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Okay, I'm running about probably around 4, about 40%.
All right, if you could pull that back to a 3, I think we'd be right on target. What happens is when you get past a 3, you start to get kickback between words, and you know, that doesn't do anybody any good. So we found a 3 is almost imperceptible as far as somebody being able to tell that you are running compression. Roger?
Okay, so now let me just take a look at this. Okay, so this is now brought back to that position lower. Over.
I'm not sure. I was just saying, if you've got your compressor processor on at a 3, Roger?
That's correct.
Okay, so that means on our equalizer, we could be into a set of P controls because your processor's on. So what I want you to do is to look and verify that you do or don't have a P set of controls, Roger?
Yes, I guess I do. I have to go into that.
Okay, so we will be working with our P set of controls, Roger?
Okay, let me just go back over to that as I'm speaking to you. Okay, so the P set of controls, right. So I've got, there are 3 equalizers on it. There's an EQ 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, sir. So 2 is the mids, and what we want is that to be off or flat. Off or flat on your mids, Roger?
Okay, so on the P2, let me take a look at this. So we want to turn the frequency level and bandwidth to off.
Just if you have an off button for that mid equalizer, go ahead and turn it off. Otherwise, bring your attenuation boost level to the mid zero level.
Okay, so now I turned it off from where it was set before. This is now off.
All right, so then let's go to your treble, number 3. And the thing is, do you have an adjustable frequency? Can you adjust your frequency of that equalizer 3?
Yes, I can. Right now it's at 3200.
All right, we want to bring that down to 2.7 kilohertz, 2700.
Okay, so this is now down to 2700.
All right, and what's your max boost level on that EQ Control 3?
I'm not sure exactly what level you're talking about.
The push of that frequency, we want to brighten it up and add some additional EQ push at 2700, Roger?
Okay, it is currently set at 8.
Okay, 8 out of what?
8 out of 10. I just brought it up to 10. It is now full of 10.
All right. Then you have a width control, probably, and we want that width to be at 4. So the numbers for equalizer 3 are max out on push, 4 and width, and the frequency is 2700, Roger?
Okay, so the width you said was 4. This is now at 4.
Yes, 4, and the frequency is 2.7 kilohertz. 2.7 kilohertz, Roger?
10, which is full.
I'm sorry, we doubled. The frequency is at 2.7 kilohertz. 2.7 kilohertz, Roger?
That is correct.
Okay, so, and the width of 4, Roger, and the boost is 10, is that a Roger?
That is correct.
Okay, so let's see. Why don't you tell me about the best thing about your antenna system, and tell me all about that for about 10 or 15 seconds, Roger?
Okay, very good. It's W2UFO. And the antenna system here is an off-center fed dipole, kind of heavily modified, running it with 450 ohm ladder lines, about 45 feet up in the air, and it's about 132 foot. And each end of the antenna where these insulators are connected, I have about 6 feet vertically hanging down. Over.
Oh, sounds beautiful. Sounds really beautiful. Let's see here. So I'm trying to think. Maybe give me just a little bit more audio. I really like listening to that audio. It's beautiful.
Okay. And yeah, I'm listening to it on the monitor, and I can definitely hear a difference. Before it sounded slightly muddy, but now it sounds crystal clear to me.
Yes, sir, and I'm listening, like I say, on the output of the 7300, which is good down to 100 cycles. And you won't find many radios other than 70. Well, you would, but I'm listening also on a house monitor system that has a subwoofer that takes down to 40 hertz on the speaker system and 100 out of the radio, so it really does sound just beautiful. And if you'd like to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Okay, very good, Jim. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it gave me a chance to get this microphone set up, and I do hear the difference. Look forward to hearing the recording. So I have a quick question for you then, because I guess I've learned something here. So there are 3 controls for the equalizer, and in other words, 1, 2, and 3. So 3 is which way do they fall in place? In other words, which is the low, the medium, and the high, if that makes sense?
Usually the medium is the mids. It's EQ2 is usually in the middle, and then so the one above that, 3, is usually your treble, and 1 is usually your bass. And so that's, but there are other ways to tell, like if you really wanted to double check that, you could go in and just to take that bottom end full pan out, just kill that bottom end on the equalizer, and you should be able to hear that as you listen. Now, the other thing is, and I really suggest this pretty hardly, that one should not utilize your monitor in the transmit mode. Only if you had earphones and you was using that as a side tone to your earphones as you listen to other folks on the receive. But normally I would have that speaker or monitors cut off because they have a tendency to get into your transmit audio, Roger, and it doesn't help.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm wearing a pair of noise-canceling headphones. These are Bose headphones, and nothing comes out of them. So this works quite well. I have used some inexpensive ones, and you're right. Sometimes there's like this bleed over out of the headphones, and the microphones pick them up.
Right, and even worse is using the internal speaker on the radio. I mean, I have had people try to use that speaker, monitor speaker in transmit, and they're wondering why it's feeding back, and the audio sounds like yip, 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 garbage, and it's just that it's being interfered with by feedback from the open monitor system. So, all that being said, and I'm just thinking here, Mark, also, now you've got these lower frequencies that I'm hearing on the 7300. Sounds just beautiful, but you have to, I'm thinking maybe there might be a foam windscreen in your life. $5, the cheapest filter in the house that just straightens your audio out. It takes all these velocity wind currents away from your mic element, so the mic only has to deal with trying to regurgitate your voice into electron impulses. But, we also, as we speak, generate very strong wind currents, maybe 3 or 4 times greater than the actual word that we're saying. And we're expecting this microphone to deal with all that. So what we really need to do is get a foam windscreen to redirect the velocity windscreens away from the element. Only $4 or $5, and for all it does as far as cleaning up distortion, it's just the cheapest filter you can buy.
Okay, well, I've now added the windscreen because I ran the test without it, and I'm now using the foam windscreen on top of the microphone. Over.
Oh, just beautiful. It just straightens up all the words, and all the words now are perfect. They don't have any leading stuff from the mouth. It's just beautiful. Roger, I think you'll love it. Tell me, let's see, now that we got that audio going, just beautiful, tell me the thing that you like best about your radio.
Well, the thing I like the best about it is my tax return paid for it last year. And I'm hoping that when the tax return comes this year, I can get some more equipment. Over.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I wish you luck on that. I have tried that, but I have not been successful, I must admit. About the only thing I can get is a 80-year-old Drake radio, Roger.
Well, some of those radios don't sound so bad. So I've heard some old equipment. The other gentleman was working with that Heath kit, a 50-year-old radio, so they do work well. Okay, I won't hold it much longer because I'm sure there's some other stations there. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, Jim. I was getting some crazy reports, and I was trying to figure it out. And listening to yourself, when you listen to yourself, the problem is you're never really hearing it the same because I don't think that we hear ourselves the way we really are. Over.
It's hard. It's hard at the same time, and then if we delay it, then it's even rougher. If you get like a quarter of a second transient delay, man, you can't speak. It just tongue ties you trying to speak with a slight delay. And if you were monitoring in earphones and that you had like a quarter of a second delay coming back to you, it just befuddles you. Your brain, you can't operate. So anyway, Mark 73, sir, good to talk talk at you. And join us next Friday and see what's going on. It really sounds great. I think you'll love that recording. And I'm so appreciative of you grabbing that foam windscreen, because that just does straighten up the act. That's one of the final acts of greatness a person can give their radio, is that foam windscreen. And I was thinking about this today, that modern radio manufacturing is so precise as far as getting radios on the exact frequency. Now, if you were to look back at about 20 years ago, you would have, if I were here, I would have radios coming in at all different frequencies, and I would have Mickey Mouse on one, and I would have Darth Vader on the other one, because they just did not have the technical expertise to be able to keep all these things on frequency. But now they do, and so I don't even think about that I'm copying the mail on shortwave sideband anymore, because things are so precise that by the time it gets to me, it's in an audio form and perfect, pretty much. So it used to be very difficult to try to give somebody instructions on an EQ pattern when they were sounding like Donald Duck, Roger.
Yeah, I know. I realize that's difficult sometimes, definitely, for sure. All right. Well, again, Jim, thanks for taking the time, and we'll look for you next time. Enjoy the weekend coming up. Hope you have a good weekend, and appreciate your efforts there. So we will. I'll be looking forward tomorrow to listening to the recording. It's interesting, because I'm going to compare it to the recording that was done a couple weeks ago, and I'll be able to hear the two of them on the two separate microphones. So I think that'll really give me a good benchmark there. So we'll say 7-3. Have a good evening. Your signal's great, and of course everything's sounding coming through here quite well. This is W2 UFO in North Carolina, and have a great weekend.
Roger, Mark. Just a word of information. There is a spectrum analyzer on my set that is tied to the output of the 7300, and it has one mark to the left of the spectrum analyzer, and that one mark to the left denotes 100 hertz. 100 hertz on the left mark, and it has two marks on the right. The first mark is 1 kilohertz. Then there's a blank space, which is 2 kilohertz, and then there's a white space again, which is around 4 kilohertz. So it's not real tight at the top end, so don't draw any inference on that. But it's in general pretty accurate as far as the balance that it's seeing. So and if you're listening with a pair of cans or something, it'll just sound beautiful. That I'm getting more into earphone monitoring these days, because I've got a lot of monitor systems, but sometimes the earphones can really just put it there, and you can hear it a lot cleaner that way. Anyway, all right, so 73 Mark, have a good afternoon, beautiful weekend. See you next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 9 Sierra Victor Lima.
Sierra Victor Lima, Roger, what's the name?
John.
Well, John, you'll be happy to know I have a pen that I can read. My writing pen usually is, I'm writing in Braille a lot of times. And there's not much light on the set, and usually these pens don't put up a broad enough mark to really be able to read. But I can read this one, so that's great. What radio are you running, John?
I'm on a Kenwood 990.
Let's see. I tell you what, John, why don't we do this? Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and I'll look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Okay. Yeah, I've got...
For us, Roger.
Okay. Yeah, I've got antennas. It's an Alpha Delta. Goes from 80 meters, And then I've got a stepper urban beam, which runs 6 to 40 meters. On 30 and 40 meters, it's a folded dipole, basically omnidirectional. And I also have a vertical, multi-band vertical, goes 10 to 80 meters. Back to you, K9VKV.
Roger, Roger, John. Whereabouts are you located, sir? What's your location?
I'm almost smack dab in the middle of Indiana.
Give me a state.
Yeah, Indiana.
Yes, sir. And what was that radio that you're running now?
It's a Kenwood PS990.
Yes, sir. And what would be the age of that radio? Is it fairly new?
Oh, I gotta imagine it's probably 7 or 8 years old now.
Roger. Now, close enough to have a selectable bandwidth, TBW. We want the 100 to 2900 if you can do that. 100 to 2900 on your transmit bandwidth called wide.
Okay, just a moment here.
So what we could do, that would be in transmit sideband in that area, Roger.
Okay, I've got it on 100 to 2900 now on transmit.
Excellent. Is that where it was?
No, it was 300 to 3000.
Roger that. Okay, so we're in that wide mode. It's the wide mode is 100 to 2900, and that 2900 gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So that's why we want that in the wide mode, 100 to 2900. All right. So past that, then we want to go to our compressor processor, and we want that on, but at a 3 out of 10. Or 30 out of 100, just, a third of the capabilities of that compressor processor, Roger?
Okay, would that be on the in or the out or both?
Set the out to 50, medium, 50, whatever. If it's nomenclature 0 to 100, make it 50. It's 0 to 10, make it 5. Just a middle position for the output, and a 30 or 3 or whatever it is, just a third of the input level, Roger.
Okay, it's on 3 on the input and 5 on the output.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so now make sure it's on also, Roger.
Oh yeah, it's on.
Okay, sir, then move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it. Just say it as you would say any other word in a QSO. And adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. So it's the magic word audio, and adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Okay, okay, you want me to, I'm not sure which, would that be one of the processor levels?
No, that's your mic level control, your main mic level control. Roger, Roger?
Oh, okay, I've got it. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, testing. K9SVL testing. It's moving on the ALC, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's coming up. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's probably coming up around 7. I think it's about 3/4 of the way on the ALC meter.
Okay, John, listen, the word is audio. If you can say that word, audio, speak it just as you would speak any other word in the QSO. Don't stress it, just say it, audio, and then adjust your mic level until you're running 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter. We have this word that's a pure tone, and it's so easy to set that level. Audio gives you a steady meter reading, and then you just adjust your mic level until it's running in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3.
Okay. Audio, 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 audio. That's about it right there.
Okay, so the best part about that word is the ah. Don't worry about the rest of it. We're just looking for that ah. And I think you may be hot. What the sweet spot is, if you look at that ALC meter, it's got one side and it's got the other side, and the other side is you're into the red. We don't want that. So if you consider the red is one side and the middle the other side, we want to be halfway to full. In other words, we want to be halfway between halfway and full. Roger?
Okay, well, I may need to back off a little, I think.
Yes, sir. Now, why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, Roger?
Well, with this radio, it's got so many features. It's just always a learning experience. Every once in a while, I'll get out the manuals, or I'll start browsing the internet and try and find things that people have done with this model radio, and then I'll set out and try and duplicate it over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just though, remember, if that's your main radio, you want to exercise caution when you're in there modifying. And, there's an old adage that says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And a lot of times that's true. I mean, I used to work on radios, but now, I open a radio, I see these little round things in there. They don't look like nothing but little round things between things. And they're actually components that are, just minusculely sized things that don't even look like something that you would work on, and you wouldn't if you hadn't. You better not anyway, because it's very easy to damage the radios. But now, if you have a secondary radio that has been through it, and you feel free that it may not work out, then that would be another thing. Okay, so what I want you to do now is go to your equalizer page, your tone control equalizer, whatever they may call it. Roger.
Okay, just a moment.
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and John is trying to, I'm not sure what John's doing. He's going to his equalizer page.
His radio sounds good.
We'll make him sound a little better. Ballistically, we got him ironed out ballistically. That's with the ALC meter, and getting him into that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. So we have him at 3 dB dynamic range, which means his average percent of peak modulation is running between 80 and 85%, which is a nice fat signal with no distortion. Now we're going to put some top-end EQ for intelligibility in there. See how that goes. John, did you find your EQ page, sir?
I know it's here because I've been there before, but I'm having a little trouble finding it. Sometimes these menu levels, they get a little confusing.
Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do. So this would be in your, where everything is there, and this would be called equalization control, EQ. Equalization control, and we'll find out. Usually that is on past the transverse sideband, and then the next step would be EQ control. Roger?
Copy that.
Be interesting to get in there and to see what kind of equalizer you have, and if you have a P set of controls. A lot of radios have a P set of controls. If you happen to be in the compressor processor mode, then the equalizer defers to the P set of controls. John, I tell you what, I could give you some notes if you wanted to take notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're, in the equalizer page, and the first thing I want you to do is look around to see if you have, indeed, a P set of controls in your equalizer area. Those P set of controls will be what we will be using because we do have the compressor processor on. So when you have the compressor processor on, your equalizer defers to the P set of controls. All right, so, and this is very important because you can spend a lifetime EQing less than P set of controls, and it's not going to do anything. You have to be in the P set of controls for it to work. Okay, so say that's occurring, and you do have a P set of controls, and we want, if it's a 3-band EQ, we want the middle EQ 2 to be flat or off. In other words, our mid-range EQ control, we don't want it to be cut nor boost. We want it flat or off. Okay, so number 2 EQ control is off or flat. Then we move to a number 3, which will be your treble control. And what we want on that is if you can adjust the frequency of EQ3, we want that to be 2.7 kilohertz. 2.7 kilohertz as far as the frequency is concerned. Then if you have a width control, we want the width control to be at a 4. So here you have this EQ3, which is a treble control. We have it on the 2.7 kilohertz frequency. We have it on a 4 width, and we want to boost it by, say, 6 clicks. 6 clicks boost from where you are on your number 3 EQ control with a 4 width. Okay, so having done that, then we go back to equalizer 1, which is your bass control. And we want to set that bass control at, if you can, at 200 hertz. 200 hertz on your bass control at a -5, with a width of 4. Width of 4 again, -5 clicks at 200 hertz. Roger?
Okay, I am into the transmit equalizer.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So take a look. Do you have a piece set of controls?
Well, what it shows are, for single sideband mode, it shows a whole list of effects, what it calls effects. And these are called like high boost 1, high boost 2, form and pass, which is where I have the radio set, bass boost 1, bass boost 2, conventional, and then there's 3 user effects that you can do yourself.
All right, so let's so you don't have actual controls. You just have like high boost selections. Let's try that high boost selection and see what that sounds like.
Okay, I think I'm on that high boost, what's called high boost 1. Over.
Oh yeah, I would run definitely with that. I definitely would run with that. Now I want you to let's go back to your ALC meter. Anytime you make a change in the chain of audio, you need to go back to your ALC meter and double check that your level is still where it needs to be. So reset your ALC level as we did earlier. Roger?
Roger, hang on a second. Audio. It's way higher than it was before.
All right, so you're on your mic gain control. Take it, pull it back. To when you say audio, adjust your mic gain. Don't try to adjust it with your voice. Adjust it with your mic level. And as you say the word audio, looking at your ALC meter, and just adjust your mic level control to where that ALC meter is sitting right there at 7 or 2/3 in the sweet spot. Roger?
Roger. Audio. Okay, I think I've got it.
Okay, so now tell me about your antenna system once again, Roger.
Okay, I have a multi-band wire dipole antenna that works 10 to 80 meters. It's an alpha delta. I have a 10 to 80 meter vertical antenna, and I also have a stepper urban beam antenna, which runs 6 meters to 40 meters. On 30 and 40 meters, it's a folded dipole. And on the other bands, it's a 2-element Yagi. Over. Back to you.
Roger. And gosh, did we ever get that bottom end? We have that bottom EQ number 1 at 200 hertz, width of 4, and the level is -5. Is that Roger?
Wait, run that by me again.
Okay, so I'm not sure that we got to EQ1 complete. EQ1 is the base control. We want that set at 200 hertz. 200 hertz, width of 4, and tell me what the level is.
I don't remember doing that.
Okay, so let's do that then. Do you see EQ1, peak control EQ1?
You mean in the equalizer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Equalizer 1. You have 3 equalizers. You have a bass, a mid, and a treble. So we've done the mid, so we did the treble. And what we want to do is come back to the bass. And we want, if you can input the frequency on the bass EQ control 1, we wanted 200 cycles. 200 cycles. Then a width of 4. Width of 4. And I'm just curious what the level is as far as attenuate or boost on EQ1.
Well, if I go into the individual equalizer settings for the effect I chose there, High Boost 1, it's called, there are about a dozen different level settings across, going from 0 to 5.1 kilohertz. And these things form a curve. It looks like it kind of peaks in the midtones. And as you get down to the bass, it drops off some, and you get up to the high end, it drops off some as well.
Roger, John. Okay, I think it sounds fairly close where it is. And I forgot that you were having to use a high boost and not an actual EQ control pot as such. So I would just run it like you are. I might try coming closer to a microphone by maybe an inch or two from where you are, just a little bit closer. Let me hear you that way, and take your responses down time-wise to about 10 seconds. When you get long, things get lost in the translation. So I'm only listening for about 10 seconds of your transmission to get an idea of where we are. Roger.
Roger. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And okay. 10. Back to you.
Roger. So what I want you to do is, your ALC meter is the Bible for that radio, and you know where the sweet spot is 7 or 2/3 on that meter. So what you have to do, as you're talking to your friends and neighbors, is you have to do something, to occupy your time. So if you leave your ALC meter out, and you're looking at your ALC meter as you're talking, the idea is that you want to try to keep your voice peaks in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 as much as possible. So that's why I'm saying if you leave your ALC meter out, you can do that, and over a period of a week or two, you will have developed a relationship between you and the meter that you can keep that meter in the sweet spot just by your voice. So I would say, come back and tell me something I don't know, but be looking at your ALC meter and try to keep that meter in the sweet spot of 7 or 2/3 on the ALC meter. Roger?
Roger. Yeah, I picked up the 990, like I said, probably about 7 years ago. Prior to that, I had a Kenwood TS2000 and a Yaesu FT991.
Yes, sir. I would run it just like that. It just sounds so beautiful. And I'm copying the mail on my 7300. And, the 7300 has frequency response down to 100 cycles. So you sound just beautiful down there and up on the top end. So I would say that High Boost 1, unless you have a High Boost 2, which is even more on the top end. Do you have a High Boost 2?
Yeah, let me switch to that one.
Hey, dummy.
Okay, I'm on High Boost 2.
Okay, so tell me something I don't know for about 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay, I've also got an ICOM IC9100. I don't use it a lot, but it came my way, and I just couldn't turn it down. So back to you.
Yes, sir, I would run it just like that, high boost 2. If that's what you're in, however you have it, I would just leave it exactly like that because you're sounding beautiful. And now that we've got you all up there sounding great, why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about ham radio?
Hey, dummy.
Well, I've always liked radios, even from the time I was a little kid. I used to have an old AM tube radio, and I would my bedroom was up on the second floor, and I would drop a long wire out my bedroom window, and I'd listen to all those AM stations. That got me interested in radio, but I like talking to people. Either locally or around the world. Had a lot of good contacts. I think maybe the social aspect of radio is my favorite thing. Back to you.
Yes, sir, John. Well, gosh, one other thing, and I think you will have obtained the best-sounding station possible, and that is a foam windscreen. Foam windscreens are so nice because they take all the wind transients and roll them away before they get to the mic element. And so it leaves the mic with just the job of translating your voice to electron impulses without having to deal with all these wind currents that are coming from your mouth as you speak. So I would suggest, a foam windscreen. They're only about $4 or $5. You can get them at your local music store or almost anywhere, and just slip it on your mic, and away you go. What mic are you running right now?
It's a Heil PR781.
Yes, sir. Well, I would do that. I heard a little plosive there, and these foam windscreens are just unbelievable as far as straightening out the audio and just letting the words come through without any kind of wind currents. Roger.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, I'll find one. I know I don't have one because I've looked for it before, and I've got one on my other Heil mic that's hooked up to a different radio. But I'll find one. Over.
Roger. And be sure it's a foam windscreen now. A lot of people are trying handkerchiefs and towels and old socks. I hope they're clean. And they work, but they also have a tendency to roll the upper end of the audio spectrum off. They're not as clean as a foam windscreen. A foam windscreen doesn't do any kind of rolling off of the top frequencies. It lets all the audio pass through, but it rechannels the wind currents away from the element. Roger?
Oh, Roger. Okay. Well, listen, I really appreciate your help, and you're doing a great service here. So, 73, really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And I think just run it like that. I think you'd just be absolutely beautiful. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook, it'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So 73 there, John, and we'll catch you later, sir. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KV, if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And so nothing heard. So we're going to get out of here and go fishing. If you participated today and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So with all that being said, we got to get out of here and return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, clear.